Welcome back to the old GIS channel here. Departure today, something entirely not GIS related, but perhaps useful. We're going to turn a Zoom transcript into editable text, like a wall of text, like something you could edit in Word or your word processing program of choice. We're starting here with Zoom. I've come to like Zoom over the years. And if you've recorded things on Zoom, you will have noted that not only do you get the wonderful recording of the meeting, you also get these transcripts and closed caption files, which are fantastic. If you're ever struggling for captioning in doesn't even have to be a Zoom meeting necessarily, but in a presentation or what have you, popping up a Zoom call and just using it as a captioner is a great tool. In this case, I like to use Zoom to take notes, record ideas that I have. This meeting I made the other day is just, there's no camera. It's just 40 minutes of me talking to myself. And what do you know? Some of those things I want to remember and maybe write down. So I use this all the time. But the default file type of these, of the transcript and the closed caption, let's just say it's not the most friendly for editing. The transcript especially is a little bit, let's say, rough at times. I'm going to open this up with Notepad really quickly just to show it off. And so, yeah, it's got all these numbers and person speaking and so on and so on. I will say, if you're having a conversation with someone, if you're doing an interview or whatnot, names are very important. In this case, I'm just talking to myself, so I don't need that. But what I've developed is using the closed captioning and Excel, of all things, to create for myself a workflow that gives me, from all of this, shall we say, meandering, gives me text. Easy to edit, easy to work with. So here's that closed captioning file. You'll notice the names are gone. Pretty good. And that's actually exactly what I need to pop this into Excel, of all things, and start making editable text. So that's what I'm going to show off here. Now you might be saying, why Excel? I have Excel. That's why. No better or other reason. Sometimes the tools you have are the tools you have to use. So I've got Zoom and I've got Excel. So here we go. Open a blank Excel notebook. Go to the data tab. We're importing from text/CSV. You might be saying to yourself, well, that file type looked like it had a different extension. Sure does. It's a transcript file, or it's a closed captioning file. So it's got a cc.vtt extension. Again, if you're just taking notes for yourself, just kind of talking your way through something, transcribing, you want the .cc, because what's going to happen when we hit import here is it's going to blink for a bit and it's going to give you this. And from the start, this looks like a mess. I do not want all of my text in different columns. This isn't going to serve me at all. So I'm going to simplify this. I just want this in one column. I know Zoom doesn't put tabs in stuff, so I'm going to say it's tab delimited, which means I won't get any columns, which is great. We're going to load that up. And as you can see, we get this. I can make it colorful. Thanks, Excel. We like colors. So now I have this big pile of text in a column. Not the most useful. So we need to start filtering this down. You can filter just with a little drop down at the top of the import there. And we're going to do some text filters. And I'm going to do a custom filter, because the first thing I notice is that all of my text things here, I did not talk to myself for 10 hours. If we start looking at units here, we have seconds and fractions thereof, minutes, hours. I know I didn't talk to myself for 10 hours. Perhaps I wouldn't recommend that, but up to you. So I'm going to go with does not begin with 0. Well, that's pretty cool, because all these rows don't begin with 0. Look at that. I've got clean text. Now, I'm just doing this mostly so that you can see it better. I think you could get away with doing this all in one filter, but we'll do it step by step. So I've gotten rid of the starts by 0. Going to move over to a new sheet. I'm going to paste just the values. Won't work. Hold on. We're going to select the whole sheet there. And then we're going to tap paste just by values. So copy. Using Excel is fun, everybody. There we go. Just those values. Now we might note, wait a second, there's a bunch of blanks. We don't want blanks in there. Absolutely. So we're going to filter it again. So I just went up to my little editing section here in the Home tab, clicked filter, and we got our filter back. And in this case, it's a lot simpler. We've got blanks down here. I don't want any blanks. We're going to hit OK. Look, it stayed in order. And my blanks are gone. Super cool. Once again, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it into a new sheet. Now I just have the text. How wonderful. And get rid of the stuff at the top. Don't want it. Now, finally, we've got columns. Now, try to copy and paste. You might say to yourself, oh, I can just copy and paste that into Word and edit it there. No, Word hates this. Google Docs hates it. I'm sure OpenOffice hates it too. We want to get all these 740 rows, which we can see over here, into one row. And we're going to do that with a text join. Text join is a very fun little tool. Function, whatever the right word for that is, in Excel's concatenates a list or range of text strings using a delimiter. Concatenates, one of those key vocab words in the database world. So text join. Now the delimiter is the thing that is going to be put in the middle of these rows as they're joined into text. So what do we usually use to separate sentences? That's right, a space. Make sure you use the double quotes. That's something I always mess up in Excel. Double quotes. Are we going to ignore empty cells? We sure are. Wait a second, you're saying, couldn't we have just done that with all the empty cells and skipped the filter step? Absolutely, we could have. But this is my workflow. It doesn't have to make sense. Yes, it could be optimized. Very good. So then we're going to ignore the empty cells. Oh, maybe they're still hiding in there. And then we've got text. And my text is all stored in column A, so I'm going to go A to A. So I want all of the things in A. That's A:(A) for the Excel people who need to remember Excel syntax, which is always me. That looks pretty good to me. Hit equal. Oh, look at that. Now it's just one line. I could go forever. Look at this. Look at that. Looks fantastic. Now I can just take this, boot up a blank Word document here, put this in Google Docs, put it in OpenOffice. Probably do this whole workflow with Open Sheets or Open Google, whatever they're called. I'm going to paste my values. We're just going to keep the text. And would you look at that? If you struggle with generating text, if you struggle with turning ideas that you have in your head into text on the page, if you just want a way to quickly dump a Zoom transcript into something workable. Now, this is going to require a lot of editing when you talk. There are ums and ahs. You've heard them here. That's fine. I prefer editing. I'd rather edit than generate. Could I have written 3,000 words in 45 minutes by hand? Absolutely not. Will I be able to edit this down, pop in the graphs and the ideas and the other things that I want in here and turn this into something much more functional? Absolutely. So there you have it, a quick, stupid, but functional Excel workflow involving Zoom transcripts to turn your meandering thoughts into text. Have fun out there and enjoy your writing.